closing.
On Monday it was reported parts of Europe had temperatures dropping to minus 27 degrees centigrade, minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit, with 8 dead in Poland over the weekend, as the beast from the east took grip of the UK and Europe. The Arctic storm, dubbed the beast from the east, saw temperatures across much of Europe fall Monday to their lowest level this winter, and even brought a rare snowstorm to Rome, paralysing the city. Elsewhere in Europe, the storm set dangerously low temperatures. Lithuanian officials said temperatures that plunged to as low as minus 24 degrees Celsius, minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit in some places, were to blame for the deaths of at least 3 people. Meteorologists in Germany, meanwhile, reported a record low for this winter of minus 27 degrees Celsius, minus 17 degrees Fahrenheit on the Zugspitze mountain in the Alps. Moscow as well recorded its coldest night this winter, with the mercury dipping to nearly minus 20 degrees Celsius or minus degrees Fahrenheit on Sunday night. During the middle of February, a split in the Polar Vortex allowed cold air to plunge southward and warm air to surge northwards to the North Pole. The split of the Polar Vortex was brought on by rapid warming in the upper part of the atmosphere over the North Pole a couple of weeks earlier, according to ACU weather lead long-range meteorologist Paul Pastelok. This event is called Sudden Stratospheric Warming, SSW, an atmospheric roadblock developed around much of the northern hemisphere in general. With the routine forward motion stalled, warm air was able to push towards the Arctic Circle, and cold air was able to push southward toward the Mediterranean Sea and California, bringing unprecedented cold to Europe. And the picture shows just how cold it was in Amsterdam, Holland, where I live. A kingfisher is frozen to death mid-dive while hunting for a fish. A really incredible picture is that. And then came Storm Emma, causing even more havoc across Europe, with thousands stranded and leaving 55 dead. The UK, Ireland and large parts of Europe endured another night of dangerously cold conditions as the Siberian beast from the east continued to bring havoc and chaos. The UK was put on red alert as the 8th named storm of the year, Emma, brought gale force winds and another 50 centimetres of snow, and a gas deficit warning was issued. Hundreds of flights, rail services, schools and businesses were affected by the heavy snowfall and the brutal cold. The unusual cold spell was being felt as far south as the Mediterranean. According to the BBC, the number of weather-related deaths rose to as many as 55, with 21 victims in Poland, most of them rough sleepers. The Met Office had issued a red danger to life weather warning for the southwest of England, South Wales and Scotland. Then incredibly we had 2 storms. 200 million were battered by 2 deadly storms on both sides of the Atlantic. A bomb cyclone smashed the US northeast while Storm Emma continued to slam northern Europe. A weather bomb smashed 70 million Americans along the northeast on Friday, while more than 100 million people in Ireland, the UK and parts of Europe continued to be battered by Storm Emma. The bomb cyclone blasted the northeast US with hurricane-force winds and severe coastal flooding, while Storm Emma caused coastal flooding and buried entire communities in snow, causing travel chaos across the UK and Ireland. In the US, the powerful weather bomb slammed into the northeastern coast, leaving more than 2 million without power, and causing 4,000 flights to be cancelled across the region, with Amtrak suspending services due to the chaotic weather conditions. Some of the worst conditions were experienced from Washington, D.C. through Boston, where winds frequently gusted between 60 miles an hour and 90 miles an hour, bringing down trees and power poles, some of which fell across highways or onto buildings. Shelves in British supermarkets were empty after a run to stock up by shoppers before the storm, and 53 areas across the UK were told by the Met Office to prepare for flooding as Storm Emma brought rain and an incredible amount of snow across the country. And still on Friday, tens of thousands of Californians were ordered to evacuate from areas scorched by the Thomas Fire last year as a massive storm approached, threatening flash floods. The photo you're watching is from January, when landslides killed 13 in California. Yesterday, earthquake researcher wrote to the Big Wobble claiming a magnitude 7.5 quake was to strike due to a planetary alignment between Venus, Mercury and Earth, and a large coronal hole on the Sun was facing Earth too. Well, the magnitude 7.5 did not arrive. So sorry about that, Patrick. However, we did have another magnitude 6 quake which rocked Papua New Guinea, and it was the third magnitude 6 plus aftershock to hit the badly shaken area since the magnitude 7.5 quake struck last week, which killed 20 people and damaged many villages. Well over 100 aftershocks have hit the island since the magnitude 7.5 struck. Mount Shinmo erupted Wednesday on the southwestern island of Kyushu, Japan, raining ash on unsuspecting residents of nearby towns. Tropical cyclone Dumazail was set to strengthen Saturday to the equivalent of a Category 3 hurricane as it pummeled the eastern coast of Madagascar. On Tuesday, a G1 class geomatic storm was underway as a fast-moving stream of solar wind bombarded Earth's magnetosphere with winds reaching an incredible 1.3 million miles per hour. According to spaceweather.com, the winds came from a canyon-sized hole on the surface of the Sun. Here are more pictures of the big freeze in the UK this week. The hottest place on the planet this week was Ladysmith in South Africa at 44.4 degrees Celsius. The coldest place was not the UK. The coldest place on the planet this week was Concordia on the Antarctic, and that was a record for this year at minus 60.4 degrees Celsius. So far today we have had 101 earthquakes. This week we have had 1,119 earthquakes, and this month we have had 678. The largest earthquake today was the magnitude 5.1 in the Kamchatka region in Russia, and the largest earthquake in the last 7 days was the magnitude 6.1 west of Macquarie Island. Well, what a week that was, especially for the people in Europe and the UK. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.